Hi, everybody. I pray everybody's doing good today. It is my time right now, 5:42 p.m. So a little bit later than I normally do. But I am reading um, the Proverbs in the morning, but sometimes I don't have time to do the video, but we making time today, right now, in this very moment. So yes, thank y'all for joining me with continuing to read and cover the book of Proverbs, and we are in Proverbs 27 right now. So I just wanted to read this all with you all and also share verses within the chapter that stood out to me, and I always, always, always welcome you all to do the same. I welcome you all to read along with me in your Bibles, whether it's on the Bible app, actual Bible, however you want to do it. Um, and to also share in the comments what verses stood out to you. But yeah, let's get started. Proverbs 27. Okay. Don't brag about tomorrow, since you don't know what the day will bring. Let someone else praise you, not your own mouth. A stranger, not your own lips. A stone is heavy and sand is weighty, but the resentment caused by a fool is even heavier. Anger is cruel, and wrath is like a flood, but jealousy is even more dangerous. An open rebuke is better than hidden love. Wounds from a sincere friend are better than many kisses from an enemy. A person who is full refuses honey, but even bitter food tastes sweet to the hungry. A person who strays from home is like a bird that strays from its nest. The heartfelt counsel of a friend is as sweet as perfume and incense. Never abandon a friend, either yours or your father's. When disaster strikes, you won't have to ask your brother for assistance. It's better to go to a neighbor than to a brother who lives far away. Be wise, my child, and make my heart glad. Then I will be able to answer my critics. A prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. The simpleton goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. Get security from someone who guarantees a stranger's debt. Get a deposit if he does it for foreigners. A loud and cheerful greeting early in the morning will be taken as a curse. A quarrelsome wife is as annoying as constant dripping on a rainy day. Stopping her complaints is like trying to stop the wind or trying to hold something with greased hands. As iron sharper, as iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. As co-workers who tend a fig tree are allowed to eat the fruit, so workers who protect the employer's interests will be rewarded. As a face is reflected in water, so the heart reflects the real person. Just as death and destruction are never satisfied, so human desire is never satisfied. Fire tests the purity of silver and gold, but a person is tested by being praised. You cannot separate fools from their foolishness, even though you grind them like grain with mortar and pestle. Know the state of your flocks and put your heart into caring for your herds. For riches don't last forever, and the crown might not be passed to the next generation. After the hay is harvested and the new crop appears, and the mountain grasses are gathered in, your sheep will provide wool for clothing, and your goats will provide the price of a field. And you will have enough goats' milk for yourself, your family, and your servant girls. Yep, and that's Proverbs 27. This chapter has so many good verses, like so many good verses. So let me go ahead and get started and tell you which one stood out to me. Verse 1. Don't brag about tomorrow, since you don't know what the day will bring. You don't know what the day will bring. Nobody knows, so don't brag about it, because you don't know what's going to happen. And with this, it made me think of like, don't talk too much about about the future, about what you are planning to do, because you can be mindful of who you're telling. Um, have you ever told somebody something that was supposed to happen and it didn't happen? Like kind of like that. Like you're supposed to just be quiet until that thing that you're working on or doing actually is currently like happening. Like you don't want to speak on it before it is happening. Yeah. Um, let verse 2. Let someone else praise you, not your own mouth. A stranger, not your own lips. Allow someone else to compliment you, or like this says here, praise you, versus being like self-absorbed, coming off as self-absorbed or conceited or fully yourself. Um, verse 4. Anger is cruel, but wrath anger is cruel and wrath is like a flood, but jealousy is even more dangerous. I believe jealousy is so dangerous because it can really cause somebody to really act out of character or act in character, and they just been hiding who they really were. But it can cause somebody to take a life, or it can cause somebody to risk their life. Jealousy is a strong emotion. So you got to be careful about dealing with people who are jealous, who have a jealous spirit. Let me say that. Verse 5. An open rebuke is better than hidden love. 6. Wounds from a sincere friend are better than many kisses from an enemy. So, for example, if you have that friend who is actually looking out for you in your own good, and they might give you some constructive criticism or something, they might say something you don't want to hear, and it might hurt your feelings. But they're looking out for you, versus somebody who is an enemy, and they're just hyping you up, pretty much like whispering sweet nothings in your ear, just really just feeding into whatever you are desiring, but what you are desiring is really going to lead to your downfall. You got to know the difference between the two. Verse 10. You never abandon a friend, either yours or your father's. When disaster strikes, you won't have to ask your brother for assistance. It is better to go to a neighbor than to a brother who lives far away. And for this I said, you never know when you will need help. That's why it's important to never abandon a friend, I think. And also, like, it's important to be kind to people, like your neighbors, because you never know when you will need help or assistance, and you won't be able to travel far or reach your regular go-to person for when you need help. That's why it's important to be kind to everybody, because you never know when you can be in a situation where you need people to help you. Be wise, my child, and make my heart glad. Then I will be able to answer my critics. That's verse 11. Be wise, my child, and make my heart glad. Then I will be able to answer my critics. To me, that means like being wise. To be wise is to follow God's commandments and his path and what he's telling you to do. To try your best to not walk into sin or walk in sin, but to walk the path that the Lord has for you. And in doing so, you're glorifying him in his name, and he is able to answer the critics, the people who don't believe in him, the people who got always something negative or some type of debate regarding the Lord. When you continue to walk in the right path of Christ, and you are not just saying you're a Christian, but you're actively displaying Christ in your day to day. People can see Christ within you. That's when the Lord can really, really work. It's all for His glory. What else? So this was funny to me. Verse 14. A loud and cheerful greeting early in the morning would be taken as a curse. I know one thing for sure. Me personally, some people are super chipper and good morning. That's great. But me personally, I'm a quiet person. I'm a really just to myself person. So the second somebody is loud, I'm just like, the Lord's still working. But I'm a quiet person. So this one related to me a lot because I kind of like cringe and like back away because it's too early. I just let me get myself together. But yes, verse 16 made me laugh too, talking about 15 and 16, the quarrelsome wife. A quarrelsome wife is as annoying as constant dripping on a rainy day. Stopping her complaints is like trying to stop the wind or trying to hold something with greased hands. So if you find yourself constantly arguing with your spouse, male or female, husband or wife, whatever, I think when it comes to that, you need to step back and evaluate what's going on in your heart and in your mind. So it's like, what's wrong? What's triggering you to react that way? And possibly have like a family meeting, like sit down with your spouse and just talk it out. And if talking is difficult, if talking leads to arguing, y'all can try something like writing letters to each other. Yes, y'all still live in the same household, but it helps to better convey what you're trying to say without yelling and starting an argument. Start off that way, and it also helps you to really process what you're feeling when you write it down versus like when you say it. When you say it, you kind of, if you're in the heat in the moment, you gonna say whatever come out your mouth, okay? But when you write it down, you're able to process better. But yeah. 17. As iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. And beside that, I said, get Christ-led friends. It is so important to have people in your circle who love Christ, who follow Christ, but also their walk. You can see it in their walk. It's not just I'm a Christian. It's not, they don't just show up to church on Sundays. No, they show up for God every day of the week. That's what you need in your circle, in your life. 19. As a face is reflected in water, so the heart reflects the real person. I really like that verse. Let me say it again. As a face is reflected in water, so the heart reflects the real person. Allow God to reveal to you the heart of these people that you have in your lives. That's a prayer. If you're not ready for it, don't ask Him. But if you don't want your time wasted, allow God, ask Him to reveal the hearts of the people in your life, and He will let you know if somebody's supposed to be in your life or if they're supposed to leave your life. If they're going to lead you the right way and keep you connected to Christ, or if they're going to lead you astray. Ask Him if you dare. Ask Him. Okay, and then I have a whole little page for this last bit that got my attention. So Proverbs 22 to 27. I'll read it. You cannot separate fools from their foolishness. Hold on. Okay. You cannot separate fools from their foolishness, even though you grind them like grain with mortar and pestle. Know the state of your flocks and put your heart into caring for your herds. For riches don't last forever, and the crown might not be passed to the next generation. After the hay is harvested and the new crop appears, the mountain grasses are gathered in. Your sheep will provide wool for clothing, and your goats will provide the price of a field. and you will have enough goat's milk for yourself, your family, and your servant girls. So I really think I meant 23 to 27. Yeah. So with this, I said, know your audience. Know the people you are trying to reach. Meet them where they are and not where you wish or want, and not where you wish, want, or see them to be. Just meet people where they are. My baby better wake up. And then I said, pour into them with prayer, fellowship, love, and support. Give Give them to God and allow God to work in their lives to renew their hearts, mind, and spirit. When they start to produce the fruits of the Spirit, you can or may be rewarded for helping them to draw closer to God and being consistent with Christ. The ultimate goal and result through the ultimate goal and result is to make heaven crowded by preaching the gospel and helping to bring others to Christ. The Lord has your reward for your faithfulness and will bless you and your family. That's what I wrote. But yes, y'all, I pray that y'all enjoyed Proverbs 27. I pray that it spoke to y'all. And I, again, welcome y'all to please share what stood out to you in the comments, because Proverbs 27 was also a really good chapter. So share what stood out to you in the comments, and God willing, soon we will cover Proverbs 28, probably within the next few hours. I'm gonna do Proverbs 28. But yeah, God bless. I love y'all, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.